Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Peter Newlands. It's my great pleasure to be your MC this morning for the presentations of the 72nd version of this iconic sporting event, which this year, unlike most years, has been dramatic, intriguing, for some quite frustrating, but undoubtedly historic. And it's great to be here on the first day of a new year to reflect on the race and to hand out some of the magnificent silverware that's on display here this morning. To start the proceedings, I'd like to welcome the Commodore of the Royal Yacht Club of Tasmania, Mr. Matthew Johnston.
Your Excellency, the Governor of Tasmania, Professor Kate Warner and Mr Richard Warner, the Honorary Will Hodgman, Alderman Sue Hickey, Lord Mayor, Mr Joel Ashleyman of Rolex, Tasport's Director and RYCT Vice Commodore Tracy Matthews, Commodore John Marcos, flag officers and members of the Cruising Yacht Club of Australia, flag officers and members of the Royal Yacht Club of Tasmania, competitors, fellow sailors and guests. On behalf of the Royal Yacht Club of Tasmania, I have great pleasure in officially welcoming you here today at the Federation Concert Hall for the official trophy presentation for the 2016 Rolex Sydney and Hobart Yacht Race. Yet again, we have witnessed a great race and a rewrite of the record books. From the start up in Sydney Harbour on Boxing Day, where we saw a cracking start for a fleet, the big boats crossing tacks out of the harbour, they turned the corner, chutes were up and the sleigh ride began. It was also fantastic to see some of the traditional and classic entries this year, including Sean Langman's Maluka of Commandy, Richard Lee's Freya, which unfortunately didn't make it, and finally Nigel Stokes' Fidelis. Fidelis being the classic Cowrie Pine slimline yacht designed by Nud Reamers, and he's famous for taking line honours in the 1966 Sydney Hobart Yacht Race. To Anthony Bell and his team on Perpetual Loyal, well done on a fantastic result. Not only being the first yacht into Hobart, but also smashing the race record that was held by their long-standing rival Wild Oats since 2012. It would be remiss of me not to make special mention of a couple of Tasmanians on board that vessel. Firstly, Justin Juggy Kluwer, who couldn't make it today, who has managed to be on the last two winners, and also Mal Parker, another Tasmanian. Both of these guys are professionals that are based in the US, but still call Hobart their home, and the RYCT is their club. To Brad Kellett, the boat captain who's here today, well done on a great result with the win, but also for competing in your 25th consecutive Hobart. What an achievement for a bloke who is only 40 years old. He's also one of nature's gentlemen, a bit like his old man David. For the handicap honours, it was once again gearing up for a race for the more fancy downwind flyers, like the Volvo 70s and the TP 52s and other yachts of similar size. For the first 24 hours, the handicap leaderboard changed a bit, and for a long while it looked like Matt Allen's decision to bring his TP 52 Ichiban instead of the Carekeek 60 was a smart move. However, you can take nothing away from the overall winner, Giacomo, who sailed a fantastic race, to be second over the line, less than 2 hours behind Perpetual Loyal. A very deserving winner and a very well-campaigned yacht. To all the divisional winners, I offer my sincere congratulations on a job well done. To the Tasmanian entries, of which there were 4 this year, as well as the many other Tasmanians that were on board other yachts that were scattered throughout the fleet, well done to you all. I'd like to make particular mention of the Tasmanian prize winners, including Paul Mara and the crew of Hillsel 3 for winning PHS Division 1, Sean Langman and the crew of Maluka of Commandy being the first Tasmanian boat on IRC and first boat under 9.5 metres across the line, and also first in IRC Division 4. And finally, Richard Grant and the crew of Cromarty Magellan for winning the Corinthia Division. Fantastic. I'd like to acknowledge the efforts of Biddy Badenoch and our tribe of hard-working RYCT volunteers in Hobart, who continue to give up their time to make this all happen. Their can-do attitude is simply fantastic, as nothing is a problem and they just go about getting stuff done. This is also extended to Tim Cox and his race committee, who continue to show the professionalism and diligence required to run a world-class event. We at the Royal Yacht Club are very proud to be a partner of the Cruising Yacht Club of Australia and Rolex in this magnificent yacht race, and we look forward to partnering and assisting in the continued success of this race, building up to the 75th Hobart in 3 years' time. Thank you.
Thank you, Matthew. Now I'd like to ask the Governor of Tasmania, Her Excellency Professor Kate Warner AM, to come to the lectern and present the first round of trophies.
Good morning, everyone, and a very happy new year. Thank you so much for inviting my husband Dick and me to the presentation of the 2016 Sydney-Hobart Yacht Race. Can I just begin by paying my respects to the traditional owners of the land on which we stand, the Muwinina people, and to pay respects to their elders past and present. This is the third year that I've attended this ceremony, and I must say it's a really great privilege to do so. Like so many Tasmanians and Australians, we follow this race with a lot of interest every year, from the always spectacular Boxing Day start to the end of the race here in beautiful Hobart. I've spoken in the past a little bit about the history of the race, namely that the Sydney-Hobart began in a rather off-the-cuff fashion. During 1945, 3 members of the Cruising Yacht Club of Australia, Jack Earl, Peter Luke and Bert Walker, planned a cruise to Hobart in their respective yachts after Christmas. One evening, Captain John Illingworth, RN, gave a talk to the club members, and afterwards Peter Luke suggested that Illingworth might like to join the cruise. Illingworth's reply was, "I will, if you make a race of it." And that was the beginning of the race. And now, over 70 years later, the race is internationally recognised as one of the 3 classic blue water ocean races, the others being the Fastnet race in the UK and the Bermuda race along the east coast of the US. As a Hobartian, I've always taken a very keen interest in the Sydney to Hobart race, but I have to say that being involved in the prize giving in this way and giving a little speech has really sharpened my interest and focus. So Dick and I were glued to the television for the start, the Boxing Day start, to see who would be first out the head. And of course it was Perpetual Loyal, followed by Beaujest, Scallywag and Wild Oats. But at some stage, Wild Oats took the lead. But on Tuesday, and in sight of Perpetual Loyal, Wild Oats suddenly stopped and heeled over because of a broken hydraulic ram on the keel. Anthony Bell's Perpetual Loyal then took the lead for the rest of the race, crossing the finishing line, as we know, in record-breaking time early on Wednesday morning, smashing the record by some 5 hours. In fact, amazingly, the record was broken by 3 boats, Perpetual Loyal, Giacomo and Scallywag. Not only was the New Zealand boat Jim Delegate's Giacomo second over the line, but of course it won on handicap. So it was an incredibly fast race, with even the smallest boats safely moored on Friday, the day before New Year's Eve, including the oldest and smallest, Maluka of Kamandi, and the second smallest boat, Landfall. And I know this doesn't always happen that they get in here before New Year's Eve. I know some of the boats occasionally do miss the New Year's Eve celebrations in Hobart. I'm sorry that most of you saw very little, if anything, of the stunning Tasmanian coastline on the way, shrouded as it was in sea mist. All the more reason, though, to stay around and do some sightseeing, I think, and return for another race. Dick and I have had a wonderful time walking around the docks and being part of the welcoming crowd. And we were there to see alive the first Tassie boat over the line. And it's great to see that all 4 Tasmanian boats have done so well, including Cromarty Magellan's win in the Corinthian division. I think it's also wonderful to see so many international crews, 11 this year. It's the first time that there have been 2 Chinese crews and the first all-Korean crew on Sonic. So many firsts this year. Another notable one is the first all-Aboriginal crew, proudly flying the Aboriginal flag on Southern Excellence 2, supported by the Tribal Warriors Association. I'm full of admiration for the courage and persistence of all the competitors. So, Dick and I would like to congratulate all of the sailors who have stepped up to compete in the Rolex Sydney to Hobart Yacht Race, wherever they have finished. Congratulations to Perpetual Loyal for taking line honours and in that wonderful record time. And to handicap winner Giacomo, owner Jim Delegate and his crew. What a fabulous achievement, particularly in the light of the heartbreak the boat had with a broken mast in 2014. To Rolex, sponsor of the race since 2002, I say a big thank you for your support for this event. Rolex presents 2 of their magnificent chronometers to the winners of the Rolex Sydney to Hobart Yacht Race, something that is a very fitting and lasting memento of their achievements. And last, but certainly not least, I must thank all of the organisers, volunteers and staff who've made this year's Rolex Sydney to Hobart Yacht Race such a success. It's just a huge undertaking, and I congratulate you all on a job very well done. And I'm looking forward to presenting trophies to the winners shortly. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Now, to start the first round of presentations, the trophy for the yacht travelling from the furthest port to compete, that's the Polish trophy, and the winner of the Polish trophy this year is KLC Bengal, the skipper Yoshiko Murasi. The Rani Trophy is for the most meritorious performance as judged by the race committee. This year, the trophy is awarded to the New South Wales Water Police for their ongoing excellent work at the start of the race, and accepting on behalf of the New South Wales Water Police is Inspector Lee Redshaw, who's in charge of Police Maritime Rescue in Tasmania. This is always an exciting one. The Jack Rooklin Memorial Trophy and replica for the first yacht out of Sydney Heads, and this year or last year, the winner of that prize is Perpetual Loyal. The skipper was Anthony Bell. Representing Anthony Bell today will be one of his crew members, Brad Kellett, to collect the trophy. The F&J Livingston Trophy for the first yacht due south of Tasman Island also goes to Perpetual Loyal, Brad Kellett, to receive the trophy. Third over the line, the CYCA Trophy at the Cruising Yacht Club of Australia, Scallywag, Sen Huang Li, representing Scallywag. It looks like Adrian Cahalan's going to pick up the trophy on behalf of the skipper, the owner and the crew of Scallywag. The trophy for second over the line, also the CYCA trophy, goes to Giacomo. The skipper and owner is Jim Delegate. Now, the line honours this year, of course, was won by Perpetual Loyal in a new race record time to receive the John Illingworth Trophy and its replica, representing Anthony Boyle and the crew, Anthony Bell and the crew of Perpetual Loyal is Brad Kellett. And while Brad is still on stage, to receive a Rolex Yachtmaster 2 timepiece from Mr. Joel Ashleman of Rolex Geneva. Thank you very much, Joel Ashleman, and also Her Excellency the Governor. Excellency. And Brad, please say some words.
Your Excellency the Governor of Tasmania, Premier, Lord Mayor and other dignitaries. Firstly, congratulations to Jim Delegate and the Giacomo crew. You're outstanding competitors and we loved every part of that race. I'm proud to be here today to accept the Lion Honours and other awards on behalf of Perpetual Loyal's owner, Anthony Bell, crew and sponsors, Perpetual, Crown Resorts, Bell Partners, Ella Bache, Sonoma and Maui Jim. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Rolex for their ongoing support of the Rolex Sydney Hobart Yacht Race. It would be remiss of me if I did not thank Kelly Bell for her support of Anthony and Team Loyal. Our gratitude also goes to the Cruising Yacht Club of Australia, Royal Yacht Club of Tasmania and their volunteers for their continual management year-round every year. Our victory would also not be possible without the support of Loyal's contractors. Andy Dovell, Mid-Coast Boatyards, Sydney Rigging Specialist and Electric. They've all done an amazing job the last 4 months. The entire crew are ecstatic to be Rolex Sydney Hobart Yacht Race record holders, and we're extremely proud of our mighty yacht and her performance. We nickname her the Big Black Bus. Thank you.
The Big Black Bus. It's a good one. Now, if I could welcome the Commodore of the Royal Yacht Club of Tasmania, Matthew Johnston, back to the stage, and we'll continue with our run through the presentation of the trophies. The CYCO trophy for third in PHS Division 2 is Moody Boys, Trevor Richardson. Now, in lieu of a crew member or a representative of a trophy winner being here today, one of our lovely Rolex hostesses, Hannah, is going to receive the trophy on behalf of the crew of Moody Boys. Second in PHS Division 2, the CYCA trophy is Quetzal Kotel, Anthony Bruce, James Lee Warner and Anto Sweetapple. The first place in PHS Division 2, the CYCA trophy, I'm a Lizard, Bruce Watson. In PHS Division 1, third place, the CYCO trophy, Duwonde Damien Parks. Second place, Division 1 PHS, is Simple Sail Malagai, Murray Owen and Jenny Kings. And first place in PHS Division 1, the RANCA Trophy and CYCA Trophy, Helsall 3, Paul Mara. The Jane Tate Memorial Trophy for the first female skipper across the line, Decadence Stephanie Kerrin. This is another one I think it's going to be popular. The first boat under 9.5 metres across the finish line, the Plum Crazy Trophy, Maluka of Commandy, Sean Langman. And with Sean still on stage, the first Tasmanian boat on IRC, the Tas Ports Trophy, also to Maluka of Commandy. And to make it a treble for this most popular of boats, the Westwood Trophy, also to Sean Langwood and Maluka of Commandy. Sorry, Sean. Thank you very much to Matthew Johnston. Now I'd like to ask Tracy Matthews, who's a Director of Tas Ports, the Tasmanian Ports Corporation, and is also a Vice Commodore of the Royal Yacht Club of Tasmania, to take to the lectern to present the next round of trophies. This is ORCI Division 4, third place, the CYCA Trophy, Sticky Richard Harris. So, here's Richard. Yes, Richard's here. Very good. In the ORCI Division 4, second place, another one of the older boats in the fleet with a great story to tell, the CYCA Trophy, Love and War, Simon Kurtz. First place in the ORCI Division 4, the Tas Ports Trophy, Komutsu Azzurro, Shane Kearns. ORCI Division 3, third place, Patrice 6, Sean Lane. Division 3, ORCI, second place, the CYCA Trophy, Black Sheep, Derek and Martin Shepherd. ORCI Division 3 first place, the Tasports Trophy. Bravo, Robert Robertson. ORCI Division 2 third place, the CYCO Trophy. Alina Nova, Craig Neal. ORCI Division 2 second place, Schutzbar, Bruce Taylor. ORCI Division 2 first place, the Tasports Trophy. Terra Firma, Nicholas Bartels. In ORCI Division 1, third place, winning the CYCO Trophy, Ichiban, Matt Allen. ORCI Division 1, second place, Balance, skippered by Paul Clitheroe. Representative of Paul's crew on stage now. ORCI Division 1. First place, the Charleston Trophy, U-Box, Bin Wang. What a beautiful trophy that one is. And the Barry Valance Trophy for the navigator of the ORCI Division 1 winner, which of course was U-Box, is Fabian Delahaye. Bin Wang to receive the Barry Valance Trophy on behalf of U-Box. Now, for the next round of trophies, thank you very much, Tracy. Tracy Matthews, Director of Tasports and a Vice Commodore of the Royal Yacht Club of Tasmania. For the next round of presentations, I'd like to welcome to the stage the Honourable Will Hodgman, MHA, Premier of Tasmania.
Your Excellency, Governor of Tasmania, Professor Kate Warner and Mr Warner, the Lord Mayor of Hobart, Alderman Sue Hickey, Commodores Marcos and Johnson and representatives of the Cruising Yacht Club of Australia and the Royal Yacht Club of Tasmania, Mr Joel Ashleman, a Rolex major race sponsor, and sailors of the 72nd Sydney to Hobart, a very warm welcome to Tasmania. You join a record number of people now coming to our beautiful island, albeit as participants in one of the world's toughest and greatest ocean races. But Tasmania is becoming increasingly synonymous with the world's best. For the last 2 years, we've won more trophies than any other state. In the National Tourism Awards, Lonely Planet has ranked us in the top 4 places in the world you must visit before you die, so you can all tick that off your bucket lists. Travel and Leisure has voted us in the top 4 islands in the world to visit. We've been awarded the best bushwalks, the best beaches, the best Pinot, the best private art gallery, the best boutique hotel and some of the best golf courses and the best whiskies in the world. Our economy is strong, and Tasmania was the only state in the country to record growth in export trade last year. Retail trade is at record levels, and we would appreciate your help while you are here in keeping it that way. We're a natural larder with unpolluted coastal seas, rich fertile soils, clean water to produce some of the world's finest foods. And we have the cleanest air in the world for any populated planet, fresh from Antarctica. And as you've discovered, we have a mild, temperate climate, no scorching heat or deep cold winters. We see more hours of daylight than any other Australian capital, and we get half as much rain as Sydney. And the average commute time here is just 20 minutes. And, of course, we have the great honour and privilege to host the finish of the Rolex Sydney to Hobart yacht race, indisputably one of the world's classic blue water ocean races. Thank you to the CYCA, the RYCT and their many volunteers, and especially the sailors, around 1,000 of you from 11 countries who competed. It is you who make this race such a magnificent spectacle, exciting, exhilarating and captivating. Congratulations to you all, a very warm welcome to Tasmania, and I officially extend an open invitation for you all to come back again sometime, whenever you're able, and hopefully in the 73rd Rolex Sydney to Hobart. Thank you.
Now to continue with the prize giving, in IRC Division 4, the CYCO Trophy, Love and War, Simon Kurtz. IRC Division 4, second place, Kamutsu Atzuro, Shane Kearns. Kamatsu Atzuro, my apologies. IRC Division 4, first in IRC Division 4, the Sir Arthur Warner Trophy, Maluka of Commandee, Sean Langman. And if Sean can stay on stage, because Maluka of Commandee's also won the CYCO Trophy for being the winner of IRC Division 4. In Division 3 of IRC, third place, Ariel, Ron Forster and Phil Damp. That could be Hannah's cue to collect the trophy. Division 3, second in Division 3 IRC, Black Sheep, Derek and Martin Shepherd. And first in IRC Division 3, receiving the CYCA trophy, is Bravo Robert Robertson. And Robert Robertson will also receive the RORC trophy and replica for winning Division 3 IRC with Bravo. Before we move on to the medallion presentations, the trophy, the City of Hobart Trophy and Plaque for the navigator of the first Tasmanian yacht on corrected time, which was Maluka of Commandi. The navigator on Maluka of Commandi was Sean McKnight. A great day for Maluka of Commandi, that's for sure. Now to get on to the medallion presentations, we have presentations for the 40 races and 25 races today. We'll start with the 40 race medallion, and this medal will go to Michael Spees, who did his first race in 1976. He's only missed one race since to achieve his 40th this year aboard Hollywood Boulevard. Along the way, he has won line honours, set a race record aboard Nokia back in 1999. He won the race overall with First National in 2003 and did 8 races with Matt Allen aboard Ichiban 70. He did his first race at the age of 17 on Matika 3. He's one of the great names of the Rolex Sydney Hobart race. Now, Michael Spees is not here this morning, but to receive his 40 race medallion on his behalf is the Finnish coordinator from the RYCT, Biddy Badenak.
For that warm welcome. It's an honour for me to stand up here and accept this 40-year medallion on behalf of Michael Spees, and it epitomises what this race is all about, because it's a friendship that I've developed with he and his partner Gus over the many years, and as I've done with a lot of other people that are in this room today, and as I said, I'm very honoured to accept this trophy, this medallion. Michael's asked me to, emailed me a few words to say on his behalf, and I'll just, if you'll bear with me, I first came to Hobart in December 1970 to sail in the Australian Sabo Championships held in Montrose Bay on the River Derwent. I finished second in two-ups aged 11. While focused on my sailing, the highlight was going down to Constitution Dock every day after racing with my late father looking at the finishes of the Sydney-Hobart race. I was absolutely in awe of the thought of sailing the race. From then until 6 years later, when I did my first race, a day did not go past without me dreaming about the race. While I have been privileged to sail on some great boats, the race is more about people, the people I have raced and mentored me. The Tasmanian locals whose passion and hospitality is second to none, the race officials and many volunteers who make the race what it is. I'm honoured to have been a very small part of 40 races. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Biddy. Now to present the 25, or the medals for people who have completed their 25th Sydney to Hobart races. We'll start with Michael Bellingham. Michael did his first race also in 1976 and his fourth race in 1983. He then had a 10-year break before racing on such notable yachts as Yendes and 97, before joining Stephen Ainsworth aboard various versions of Loci for his next 12 races, which they won in 2011. Michael sailed his 25th race this year aboard Patrice. Michael Bellingham. Adrian Cahalan, she did her first race in 1984. Adrian became the first woman in history of the race to compete in 25 races, one of the great ocean racing navigators with several round-the-world races to her credit. She has an enviable record in the Rolex Sydney-Hobart race, from skippering an all-women crew on Ella Racing in 1996, and with 6 line honours on Nicorette in 2000, Wild Oats 11 in 2005, 2006, 2008, 10 and 12, as well as 2 overall wins on Wild Oats 11 in 2005 and 2012. That's a hell of a record. Adrian sailed aboard Ragamuffin this year. Adrian Cahalan, 25 races. Peter Sheldrick started his Hobart career in 1987 aboard Brad Gilbert's Southern Cross. Peter became one of George Snow's Brindabella boys in 1992, going on to sail 13 races with George, including a line honours win in 1997. In 2006, Peter joined his long-term friend and navigator Lindsay May aboard Love and War for his historic win, her third, before joining the crew of the Maxi Lahana for 4 years and sailing again on Love and War in 2014 and again this year. Peter Sheldrick. Andrew Taylor. Andrew and his father Bruce achieved a unique record of becoming the first father and son team to compete in 25 races together aboard a Schutzbar, something I doubt will ever be repeated. Sailing his first race in 1986, Andrew has taken second on handicap on several occasions and, like Bruce, deserves a win. Andrews flies in from his homes overseas to compete with his father each year, truly two of the great supporters and competitors of the Rolex Sydney Hobart Yacht Race. Andrew did his first race at the age of 16. Andrew Taylor. Bruce Clark. Bruce did his first race in 1986. He sailed on some famous yachts in his 25 races, including 2 wins, the first aboard Assassin in 1992 and Yendes in 1999. And there's also 4 Lion Honours wins in the bag, 2 aboard Wild Oats 11 in 2006 and 2007, and with Alfa Romeo in 2009 and Loyal in 2011. Since 2012, Bruce has sailed with Peter Harborg aboard Black Jack. Now, David Kellett is going to take part in the presentation to honour Bruce Clark in his 25 races. Now, for the final of our 25-year medallions, if I could ask David Kellett to return to the stage to present a medallion to his son, Brad Kellett, who we've seen already on stage this morning. Brad Kellett sailing his first race aboard Condor in 1992 as a 16-year-old. Brad becomes the youngest person to compete in 25 races in a row. Brad and David became the 4th father and son to compete in 25 races behind the Green, Case and Crawford families. Brad won the race with the late Roger Hickman aboard Osmaid in 2000. He was sailing master of Brindabella for 6 years before joining Perpetual Loyal this year. Wonderful father and son moment there. Thank you very much, Premier Hodgman. We've now got another round of trophies to be presented by Alderman Sue Hickey, the Lord Mayor of Hobart.
Your Excellency, Premier, distinguished guests, and to all the very important people in this room. Many of you, this might be your first visit to Hobart, so welcome. To all of you, I'd like to say that you are always revered for being inspirational and aspirational to so many generations, and I'm sure you all have loving, supportive and very patient families. But something occurred to me just recently, that there's another gift that you have that you're probably not aware of, and that is that you give so much joy to the people who can't sail, or people who can't afford it or physically can't do it, and people who just want to follow you on television, on the news, in the newspaper, the people who line up down on our wharf just to see what you've achieved, to meet you and to look at your beautiful boats. This occurred to me because my own partner suffered a very debilitating illness 10 months ago and is only just getting up in a wheelchair now. But he was able to come home on Christmas Day, and Boxing Day, he didn't want to know about any of us. All he wanted to do was see you guys leave the harbour. And it just struck me about how significant this race is to so many people. So on that point, I'd just like to thank you and congratulate you for what you do. I know it's hard and difficult and all the other adjectives that can sum up such a huge international race, but you do bring joy to immeasurable numbers of people. And I'd also like to thank Rolex. I mean, Rolex is one of the most prestigious brands in the world, And it wouldn't be supporting the Sydney to Hobart yacht race unless you guys were top-notch. So thank you to Rolex and thank you to you. It's wonderful to have a brand as prestigious as Rolex sitting alongside the City of Hobart. Two good brands together. So we're very, very grateful for that. Now it's my privilege to give away some prizes. Thank you. Please come again.
IRC Division 2, the CYCO Trophy. Aiken Hames Charlie, represented by Caelan Howard and David Oliver. That's Hannah to receive that one. IRC Division 2, second place, Schutzbar Bruce Taylor. IRC Division 2, first place, the Peter Alsop Memorial Trophy, and the CYCA Trophy to Spring Day Pizzazz, Rob Drury. IRC Division 1, third place, Celestial Sam Haynes. IRC Division 1, second place, Ichiban, Matt Allen. A crew member receiving the trophy on behalf of Matt Allen. And first, in IRC Division 1, the George Barton Trophy and the CYCO Trophy, balance, skippered this year by Paul Clitheroe. Thank you very much to the Lord Mayor of Hobart, Sue Hickey. For the next round of presentations, I'd like to welcome the Commodore of the Cruising Yacht Club of Australia, Mr. John Marcos.
Thank you, Peter. Your Excellency, Premier, Lord Mayor, distinguished guests, I'd like to give you a break from a bit of clapping and give your hands a rest for a moment. I do want to deliver a number of thanks, but I also want to celebrate this race in a number of ways. The sentiments have already been expressed as to how important this race is, how wonderful it's been for the competitors, and the experience generally of visiting such a wonderful place as Hobart, but also Sydney. Everyone in the race deserves thanks, from the competitors to the supporters, the volunteers, and I'll proceed with some thanks in a moment. But we actually have witnessed sailing history, not just in the annals of this race, but in the world globe of sailing. So many records have been broken, new ones set, milestones made for competitors that remain as individual achievements. As with many iterations of this race, so many people have undertaken this for the first time. It's really a thrill. I remember my first occasion going through the race, and it doesn't diminish in time. There are a number of firsts. The numbers 15 and 25 and 50 plus. They're all significant again. Interesting twists. Loyal first over the line and second overall. Giacomo second over the line and first overall. Giacomo's the first overseas yacht to win the overall trophy in almost a decade. We all know that this record's likely to stand for many years. It's such an impressive reduction of the record by 4 hours, 51 minutes and 51 seconds. I doubt very much that we'll see that broken in the near term, but Alistair reminded me this morning that records are made and they're made to be broken. We'll see what happens. I'd want to turn and thank Rolex for its support, and especially Joel Asherman for joining us this year. It's incredible to have an enjoyed relationship of more than 15 years. I want to thank Joel especially because of his role in part of the formation of the agreement to sponsor this race 15 years ago. He in fact visited Hobart in 2002 as part of the enterprise of connecting the sponsorship to the race. Joel, it's been a wonderful relationship. I thank you very much for coming. I thank you for helping us form this relationship, and thank you again to Rolex. I would like to work through a list of thanks. It's important to acknowledge that this is a huge achievement to get this race underway. It's a huge achievement to get it underway with such a flawless running and conclusion. We have enjoyed a really significant support from the New South Wales Government through the RMS, the Roads and Maritime Service, and the Water Police there. We enjoyed fantastic support from the Tasmanian Government through the agencies of the Tasports and the Tasmanian Police. Thank you, Premier. And the people of Hobart and the City of Hobart, Lord Mayor, I thank you very much. We always enjoy such a warm welcome from the people of Hobart, and I know they were overwhelmed, and I thank the crews, those that let the visitors from Hobart, as I call them, tour through the boats and see exactly what these racing boats are made of. I thank again and acknowledge the Royal Australian Navy for being on standby. I know they've helped some boats in the Jervis Bay base. There are many others to thank in the administration of the race, but I'd like to focus on a few. I begin with the CYCA team led by very capable CEO Karen Gregor, who is in her first race. And she's been ably supported by the Sailing Office, its Sailing Manager Justine Kirkchin and our Roaming Operations Manager Michael Newman. Some of the achievements I want to acknowledge as a part of this team's efforts include what I regard as really significant breakthroughs that in addition to the broadcast within Australia by Channel 7, we've had live broadcast at the start across Asia. Through ABC International, we have worked with them before, but for the first time, Fox Sports Asia and the Sport Channel in China. I know they're here today. Lexi, I did see you somewhere. But I think it's a huge effort. It's had huge exposure this year. We will start to draw in the data about how much interest there's been, but I know it's overwhelmed a number of our facilities, including the website and the servers that control our webpage. And I thank you all for your support here as well. Thank you, Karen. I actually witnessed a huge effort and the stress to achieve these things. I congratulate you, and I think it's a great step forward. The live stream of the race hasn't ended with television. We've had to go outside the internet, outside Australia. I think there's a term geo-blocked, but it's geo-blocked inside Australia. It's gone out. It's been an enormous achievement. We've done that, and I'd like to acknowledge the diligence and long hours in setting this up by the work undertaken by past Commodore Martin James and our Treasurer Janie Treleaven on 6-hour and sometimes 12-hour watches to make these things happen. I do acknowledge Channel 7 for their support and making the overseas communications happen, and Telstra also for making the satellites talk to each other. All of that was achieved in a very short time over the period of December, short as it might have been for us, but a couple of weeks of really hard work. The land side of the event has developed incredibly well since last year and even before. I'd acknowledge some supporting sponsors in achieving some of those developments, which includes Moom Champagne, Janice at Sea, Morton's and Peroni. The villages in Sydney and Hobart are now set with approvals to be reproduced every year for the next 6 years. And we can now elaborate a diary of events inside them, and I welcome you all to keep visiting the Hobart village. I thank again the local authorities in Sydney and at Hobart. Thank you, Lord Mayor. And also thank Tasports particularly for their support in helping us marshal the assets that they have down at the dock. The race, of course, enjoys enormous support from a number of volunteers. Some have had an extraordinary impact on the race and continue to do so. The race committee, led by Director Tim Cox, its flawless execution from the time that the CYCA board handed over the conduct and management of the race to that group, and very hard-working people indeed. I do want to acknowledge some more 15s. Last year, Justine Kirkchin passed her 15th year in the successful administration of this race, but in particular for this year, in his 15th year as race director and another successful undertaking, I'd like you to join me in congratulating Commodore retired RAN Tim Cox. Not too far in the background is that calm and assuring voice undertaking the radio skids. David Kellett and the team on JBW, the radio relay vessel, has become an institution in the way that they are relied upon with the crew to give us a bit of comfort when you're getting battered on the seas, or it's just so dark you can't see the horizon. You will all have seen the beautiful launch parked in the precinct down at the dock, the radio relay vessel JBW. It's right alongside the Hobart village. And for that, I really want to thank the Winning family for so generously providing the launch, as they have done for many years, and not only for this race, but for others undertaken by the CYCA. Thank you so much as well to Captain of the JBW, Andrew Copley, for many years of service and support. I look forward to continuing that. I thank our media team for keeping the world informed, and the engagement this year with social media has been outstanding. We're still getting a lot of the data in. We've had enormous support in getting the usual channels underway, but we actually did a call out to find out where people had viewed the live start on the internet, and we had people coming back to us saying they were in Latvia, Kazakhstan and Russia, just to name a few. It's getting an extraordinary reach, and we're very proud of that. I also want to thank the media for being very courteous and supportive of me in my first experiences in front of television and radio. They made it very easy, so I thank them very much. Our readers have increased in number exponentially, but we've got so much more to deal with in the internet and try and work out extra capacities. If anyone wants to volunteer and help us with managing any of this load, please feel welcome. And then there's the RYCT, our long-standing finishing partner. I thank Matt Johnston, their board, their GM, Darryl Potter, the team of volunteers, and especially Biddy, who I must come to regard as I've written here, lifelong, fully self-charging, replenishing batteries at very high energy levels. I congratulate you again, Biddy. Matt, thank you. Matt has gone out of his way to help some of the big boats and their shore crews and a number of other things in the course of this village presence this year. Shore crews were actually still on the road when some of their boats got here. Matt, it's your can-do attitude that pervades the club. It pervades a number of things that's so special down here, but I thank you especially for your support. Just a few things to reflect upon before we turn to the trophy presentation and do some more clapping. One of the best starts on record. The whole fleet got underway. There weren't any collisions or any immediate retirements. Shortly after, there was perhaps one retirement due to sail damage. We all feel very much for those who retired in the race, and many of us commiserate with the Oatley family, who, like many, campaigned the boats in this race. They put in so much time, effort and expense into marshalling and getting up to the start. It's a bit of a shame they couldn't join in the finish, but I do commiserate with them. Returning to the sailors, there were highs and lows, and there are those who virtually retired when they saw their places slide down the ladder. The Derwent, it's played its wicked personality again. It's shut down at random impulse this time round. We used to predict it just shut down at night, but at one stage, remarkably, we had 24 boats on record-breaking pace. It was outstanding. And then there was one boat within arm's reach, literally, almost within arm's reach of the line, the finish line, and it started moving backwards without any wind. The current kept pushing it back. They had to anchor to slow the retreat. I want to remark that we're very pleased to see so many families involved. It's a thumping number, absolutely thumping. Almost half the fleet, 37 families, enjoyed races together on the different boats. The youngest got the win with Jim Delegate's son James, just having turned 18. Nicholas, of course, was also on board. Bill Ratcliffe, I actually wrote this down originally. Bill that it was 48 years old, but no, I actually realised it was 48 years in the making. His 48th race, he's enjoyed that with his daughter Katrina. We've got Malcolm and Lucas, Sean and Peter, many more. I'm pleased to see the acknowledgement of the women in the race. There were 73. It's almost in keeping with the iteration of the race being the 72nd. And we've seen some new boats, including one packed with all sorts of innovations that I think they're yet to fully test and understand, but I thank Sir Michael for bringing CQS to us, registering it at the CYCA and to race it around the world with Lydia and Val. We have great pleasure in acknowledging representation from China, Hong Kong. Congratulations again to U-Box, the first time here and third overall. It's an outstanding result. Other nationalities of the sailors, I include Australian internationals as a special breed. I would know that Tom Slingsby's capped most particularly well, but I actually did read Tom's comment that when people learn he's an accomplished international sailor, he often gets asked, have you done a Sydney to Hobart? As if the other achievements didn't mean anything. So, and by the way, he's won a gold medal and won the America's Cup and quite a few other significant events. We have, and I want to acknowledge the competitors who have attended from overseas and flown their flags so well. We have them from Canada, France, Germany, Holland, Japan, Kazakhstan, Korea, New Zealand, Portugal, Russia. Thanks for the drinks, boys. Sweden, USA, and I think there's a few more that I might not have picked up on, but I've had an attempt to meet everybody. We will look forward to talking with these guys, and especially Joe Mealy from the US, who's on Triple Lindy. We want to be engaged in an ambassadorial program to develop the attendance for the 75th race in 3 years' time. Some of these people have already volunteered to help us on that basis, and I say thank you. Truly, sailors have no borders. It's something I think we all ought to be proud of. We're very supportive. It's a group that gets together in a wonderful community and a lot of celebration. I'm very proud of the achievement that we have for the 72nd race. I'm very proud to be a small part of it, but I congratulate everyone on the successful completion of the race, and I look forward to greeting you at the 2017 Sydney and Hobart Yacht Race. Thank you.
Thank you very much, John Marcos, the Commodore of the Cruising Yacht Club of Australia. Now for the IRC Division 0, third place, the CYCA Trophy, U-Box Bin Wang. IRC Division 0, the CYCA Trophy, Perpetual Loyal, Anthony Bell, represented by Brad Kellett. IRC Division 0, Division O, the Rush Cutter Trophy and Replica, the CYCA Trophy for first place, Giacomo, Jim Delegate. In the Corinthian Division, third place, Komatsu Azzurro, Shane Kearns. In the Corinthian division, second place, Love and War, Simon Kurtz. And first place in the Corinthian division, the York Family Trophy and the CYCA Trophy, Cromarty Magellan, Richard Grant. Now for a presentation for outstanding contribution to the Rolex Sydney Hobart Yacht Race to Mick Hocking. He's been a life member of the Royal Yacht Club of Tasmania. He's been dockmaster for the Rolex Sydney Hobart Race since 1983. He's responsible for berthing yachts. He organises the roster of volunteers, we couldn't do without the volunteers, and who mans the club's patrol boats. He's a tireless worker for the Yacht Club and for the race, and a special presentation this year for Mick Hocking.
Nothing's happening. Yes, it is now. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank the race management for recognition of not only my service, but the service of the volunteers that are out there in the rubber duckies and whatever else, meeting and greeting and escorting the finishing yachts into their berths. To the skippers and the crews, thank you very much for your sometimes patience and definitely cooperation in getting into your berths. Albeit some people, some yachts, some skippers do not necessarily like going into the berth that's been allocated, but there's certain space. And finally to my family, Deirdre, for their support over this number of years, allowing me to do this and putting up with me when I get home pretty tired and ready. So thank you very much.
Thoroughly deserved award there for Mick Hocking. Now for the first yacht under 18.5 metres LOA across the finish line, the Apollo Trophy, Ichiban. The Battery Point Trophy for this first small boat across the finish line, Aiken Hames Charlie, Caelan Howard and David Oliver. Now the first boat under 9.5 metres LOA across the finish line is the Plum Crazy Trophy, Maluka of Commandi, Sean Langman. picked that one up. That's okay. To the IRC overall, third place, winning the RYCT Trophy and a replica and the Storm Bay Cup, U-Box, Bin Wang. In the IRC overall, the second place, winning the City of Hobart Trophy, the Bass Strait Cup, the Solo Trophy and the CYCO Trophy, Perpetual Loyal, Anthony Bell, represented by Brad Kellett. The Alan Payne Memorial Trophy for the designer of the winning yacht, Juan Kamichian. If Juan is here. The navigator of the winning yacht, the Bill Owen Memorial Trophy, Francesco Mongeli. Might be another one for Hannah. Now, first, in the IRC, the overall winner of the race, taking out the CYCO Trophy, the RORC Plaque, the Government of Tasmania Trophy, the magnificent Tattersalls Cup, and a Rolex Yachtmaster timepiece to be presented by Mr. Joel Ashleman of Rolex Geneva. The winner overall of the race in 2016, Giacomo, Jim Delegate. Now that's the final batch of trophies to present. Before we go out today on this first day of 2017 is a premiere showing, premiere screening after we hear from Jim Delegate. Something to look forward to after that.
Your Excellency Premier, Lord Mayor, distinguished guests, fellow yachties, ladies and gentlemen. I think firstly I should thank Rolex, Cruising Yacht Club of Australia, Royal Tasmanian Yacht Club, for what obviously for us has been an incredible regatta. And it's truly an honour to lift the Tattersall Trophy and to accept the Rolex watch, an incredible timepiece, which I can assure you, Joel, will be worn for many generations by members of our family. Thank you. It's been an incredible week, more than we ever imagined, and more than anything that we could have hoped for. We've met incredible people along the way. You have all made us feel welcome, and we've made lots of new friends, for which we thank you very much. Thank you.